G'day, Bomber fans. That is that. That is season 2025 done and dusted, and what a way to close it out. It was a tight-fought game against the Gold Coast Suns. They only just got the job done in the end. A few umpiring calls go the other way, and maybe it changes things. Who knows? In the end, it was a 95-point win for the Suns, and honestly, I think the overriding feeling is probably one of relief, because, you know, the year is now done. We can hide it away, throw away the key. Leave your votes in the comments below. The last time all year to do it. For the men's, that is. I'm counting votes in the AFLW, by the way. I think we just turn our attention to that, to be honest. Like, don't even watch this video. Just go watch the AFLW. They're going to win some games this year when the boys don't. Quarter-by-quarter recap. We kicked a goal in the first. That was great. Sam Durham got us an early goal. Aside from that, the Suns just did a lot of scoring. Ben King had 3 goals at quarter time. He was a menace. I think Ben Long had 2. All the Bens were scoring. We only have one Ben on our list, and I doubt he would have been kicking goals if he was out there. So at quarter time, it was Ben FC 46, Essendon to 6 at quarter time. The second term, I thought we were a fair bit better. That was actually, I think we had a lot of the play. We struggled to put it on the scoreboard. We had a few early behinds, but after conceding 2 goals, we kicked a few back of our own. Langford nailed one. Jai Menzies kicked his first of the night. It was actually a pretty even quarter, to be honest. We played some good footy in it. The margin only changed by the 2 points. It was the best we'd looked all night. The third, it was back to the Ben King show. He kicked another. We helped out his All-Australian claim. Dersma did get one back thanks to some inspirational Zach Merritt groundwork, but aside from that and a Menzies major, it was pretty dire. It was 6 goals to 2. They led by 79 points. We had players dropping like flies. I'll talk about the injuries a bit later, but yeah, there were more. It was not fun viewing. In fact, I was just waiting for that TV to be turned off, that game to end. Once you had Roberts holding his shoulder and Redmond collapsing behind the play, just forfeit the game. Brad Scott throwing the towel, and eventually the game would end. Happy days. There were more goals from one team. The other team kicked some goals too. I'm sure there were some passes and some tackles in the quarter as well. If I'm being honest, the only thing I really remember is Isaac Kako's goal and Jared Witt's on the siren, and the rest is a blur. I've literally just come here to chat to you guys after the game ended. We lost by 95 points. Let's chat about it. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm annoyed because I was pretty excited for this game. You guys would have heard me in the preview. I was looking forward to the game, but yeah, it is hard to just be happy about it now. There was a bit to take from it, like weirdly enough, there were some positives which I'll get to, but it's just really hard to chat about them too much in this scenario. I'll talk about the bad first, which there was a lot of. It was pretty brutal. Like there was clearly just a team out there trying to win the game and continue their season. They were a lot better than us, a lot hungrier. Our pressure was at times really strong. There were probably in every quarter 1 or 2 patches where you felt intensity lift, but it was so rare, and when our pressure wasn't strong, it was just non-existent. It really was a no-pressure game of footy for 90% of it. I was really hoping that the boys would rise to the occasion a bit, but you could just tell that the queue was in the rack, and they were out there waiting for the game to end so they could prepare for their time at the beach tomorrow. It was frustrating, because like I know I would do the same thing out there. I'd be giving up, but this is their job, and they didn't really perform well out there, did they? Like, I don't think they'd be getting a very good performance review. You can't look at this game and say it was a step forward or anything. There were certainly steps forward for maybe a few young players, maybe 3, but it was so clearly a very bad team who had given up, going up against a very good top 8 team who were playing as if it was a final, and that scoreboard shows the difference between where the teams are at. Obviously, the injuries don't help, but yeah, you would like a lot more of an effort than that. Like, even Merritt, I thought he had some great efforts, but I saw a hell of a lot of jogging out there. There were so many times where they were just carving us up out of the middle of the ground, going forward. It was brutal. There was almost this cycle of a turnover in forward 50, a broken tackle as we try and stop them rebounding, and then some Gold Coast brilliant ball movement that we couldn't intercept. It was a combination of bad skills going forward, not being strong enough to tackle, and not being fit and smart enough to stop them with the footy. It was pretty brutal training drill type stuff. I mean, like, the game was bad. I feel like we all know that. We don't have to analyze this game. I'm gonna not analyze this game, and we're gonna talk about stuff that's actually worth talking about from the match. We don't need to chat about how crap it was. So there are guys playing for their careers out there. Really interesting stuff, because you had 8 out-of-contract players, a few probably getting new contracts. I think Blackiston, well, he's apparently set to sign on, and I thought his game in the ruck was good at times. I still think he's more of a ruckman and not a key defender. Like he's a mobile ruck too, which is different. I thought Shield tried hard his last game for the club, so he gave a crap at least. I thought Pryor was probably playing the worst he has for a little while. That was his weakest game in a long time. He's been good this year. I think he gets a contract, but not off the back of this game. Laverty, I mean... he had a tough task. It's rough to be going up against Ben King, who kicked quite a few goals on him. The interesting ones for me are Jai Menzies and Liam McMahon. So I think Menzies gone. I thought he played very well. He kicked 3 goals, the second biggest tally for him of the year. Liam McMahon was pretty quiet, and I thought showed a few of his AFL level flaws in his game. I really don't think he's as safe as many think he is. I'm really 50-50 with McMahon. I think he finds pockets of space really well and converts really nicely. And like people are going to point to his goal hauls this year. Menzies kicked 4 this year. Menzies kicked 3 this year, but he's all but gone. I don't think it's as easy as playing, that Geelong game for McMahon and getting a contract because of it. I don't know. We'll see. I thought structurally, and it is hard to read a game like this where the forward line's just a mess. But I think this was a game where you could see the forward line look a bit all over the place, and the keys were a big reason for that. Lamont Lawal, good effort, but again, it's a 50-50. I don't know. There's a few. As it's been for so long for the last part of this season, it just felt like we had so many guys out there who are either not ready for the big time, showing signs, or there were guys that are just not going to be with us next year or in the future. And that's the main annoying thing about this injury, injury crisis and this game in general, because a lot of it was just us looking at who we're not going to have on our list for much longer. Because you can't really take much out of a chain where you see Laverde finding Shield, who would find Menzies. Like, those players aren't going to be there in a year's time, you'd think. So yeah, it was pretty annoying in that regard. But no, there were some positives. I thought Archie Roberts closed out his year in excellent fashion. He's going to be a captain, I reckon. Like, I think he might be our next captain. I saw him out there directing his teammates, sometimes the wrong way. I noticed he once called a player to leave his opponent. It was probably the wrong thing to do. But the fact he's taking that on at such a young age, and he's only going to get better. Like, he's going to be a better player, and he's going to become more comfortable with his leadership style and learning under merit. I really think he could be our next captain. And if not, he's going to be in the leadership group, maybe even next year. Like, they're talking about Roberts at the club as if he is already a leader there. Who else? Kako, I thought he was really good in the centre. He had 11 touches after half-time. I liked Angus Clark. I like a lot of what he did. A few of the younger guys probably weren't at their best. I thought Unwin did get batted, but didn't touch the ball a lot. Nguyen, I don't even really remember who his role was, to be honest. There was a lot of that in this game, where it's just, a lot of things happened and I don't really remember them because, boy, I lost interest. But even just the team as a whole, like, it was a pretty bad night. There was probably one period in the second quarter, which was our strongest quarter, where we conceded those goals and looked to really change the tempo of the game going forward, and we were really patient, and it worked. We got a lot of shots through our patient build-up. It didn't last as long as I would have liked, but there was some okay signs as to how we played. It was just that 90% of the game we were so deplorable. So luckily the season is done. We won't have to replace any injured players for another game, but there are going to be some sore bodies around. So Matt Guelphy was subbed out of the game with a calf corky. He also got a hit to the face in a tackle. Todd Goldstein had a head knock with Xavier Dersma. Dersma was okay. Goldie was concussed and didn't play out the rest of the game. At this stage, I don't know, that's another one I didn't talk about in the out of contracts. Is Goldie going to be with us next year? I think he's been pretty good to end the year, to be honest. And you never know what's going to happen with Draper. Redmond had ankle issues throughout the game. He collapsed behind the ball at one stage. Don't know what happened there. Reece Unwin copped an almighty knock which hampered him. Archie Roberts, I was scared when he clutched at his elbow after taking a mark. He seems alright. But looked a bit sore after that mark. Sam Durham barely played midfield. His foot has caused him issues all year. So, yeah, we were a very sore team out there. Laverde with that corked hip as well. It was clearly a team that just didn't have enough left in the tank. And it was a bad loss because of it. There really wasn't a lot of fight. I would have loved to see some more, but we just didn't get to. And unfortunately, that is how we close out what's been a pretty horrific year. It feels weird to end the year like this because I thought we'd been playing some good footy or decent footy in the last month, but we weren't able to translate it through to this game. Honestly, though, thank God the season's over. We now look forward to the draft, to the trade period. I can yap on about that, not talk about these horror losses every week. Season 2025's done. Remember AFLW, so keep an eye on that. But let's get on to the votes for one last time. Alrighty, votes, and this might be maybe not as much thought through as usual. I've literally just finished watching the game and gotten to my desk here, and I'm thinking about more who impressed me from this game and not who the best were. Because, look, there was some, like, I don't know if Shield was great or not, because I feel like my interest levels in certain games, players made it really hard to judge this game, because obviously Shield's not with us next year. But I've gone one vote Angus Clark. I thought he impressed me. His second half was really good. Came out and was one of the only guys out there who gave a crap. Was overlapping, running all day, covered the most distance on the ground. 15 touches after halftime as well. Led the Bombers for intercepts. 2 votes to Kako. I really loved his energy after halftime. I thought he was patchy in the first, a bit quiet, but his midfield work was really good later on. Led us for centre clearances. Led us for clearances overall, actually. 17 touches, a goal, and 5 involvements. 3 votes to Archie Roberts. I thought he was fantastic. He is just such a good player already. He is, yeah, there's a lot of really tough defending. I thought he let his direct opponent get the better of him early, but as the game went along, he was just a constant down there for us and had such a good game to finish a good year. He's clearly in the top 3 or 4 in the Rising Star, you'd think. My role player, I'm going to give some love one last time before he leaves the club to Jai Menzies. I thought he showed why a team could have a cheeky look at him, kicked 3 goals, maybe Tasmania in a few years, because he is Tasmania, remember that. But yeah, he's definitely a capable footballer. I've always thought this, it's just he's not consistent enough. But yeah, 3 goals for Lionel, but that is that. That is review done, season done. Cheers for watching, Bomber fans. Cheers for sticking through it. We got the trade and draft next to look forward to. Lots to come there. The vibes will increase because we will undoubtedly take home our 20th consecutive off-season premiership. That's really where the club does its best work. Who cares about the regular season? That's our pre-season. The off-season is where we shine. But yeah, no, thanks everyone. Cheers for watching all the reviews. Like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Leave the votes below and go Bombers.